Alrighty, so this past weekend we had a field exercise for wilderness survival and search skills. It was a great time and learned a lot. From formations that we used during search, how to process clues, brief introduction on tracking techniques, fire starting, and we made a whole bunch of different emergency shelters. One of the things is I had too much in my pack. I'll do another video where I'll show everything that I brought with me and what I'll do different next time. Just practicing tracking, like every time we get on scene, we get out of the car, just orientating myself, understanding where north, south, east, and west is, and maybe picking out a major landmark so that while I'm out and about, I can say, hey look, that mountain peak is north. Another thing is a baseline smell. So just get out of the car, take a whole bunch of deep breaths. What is the baseline smell around the scene? So that way when you're walking around and you smell smoke or you smell fuel, you'll be able to identify it a lot faster. Another thing is downloading and or maybe printing some offline maps before I go to a search scene. We had a lot of opportunities to make emergency shelters throughout the weekend. I think we made maybe at least 3 different shelters with different material. And we did an emergency shelter and we did it completely in the dark. We had 45 minutes to build a shelter from whatever was around us or what was in our pack. I had a great team and we worked great together dividing up tasks. One person was gathering leaves, one person was gathering branches, and one person was constructing the shelter. We really didn't use much from our bags besides garbage bags, which we each have 5, and that's a requirement with search and rescue. We also used our space blankets and 2 zip ties. We really didn't use much from our packs, and I was really happy with the results from the limited amount of stuff that we used from our packs. We started with filling 3 trash bags with leaves. These would be used for sleeping pads to get us off of the cold ground. But we quickly realized that we could bag leaves like trash men and then dump them on the shelter to help with insulation. Another trick for gathering leaves is to get a branch with a nice good hook on it, like a scythe. After we had branches down as ribs on the shelter, we laid down trash bags as a vapor barrier and then leaves to about chest height. Next time, I think I would do is lay the mylar blankets down on the ribs, then a layer of leaves, then the trash bags, then another layer of leaves. This would be more like a lasagna. And if we had any wind or rain, I think it would work a lot better. So all in all, it was a great field exercise. My biggest takeaway was practice and practice. So I'm going to try to set the goal of trying to start a fire at least once a week. And then at least once a quarter getting out and camping or making a shelter. That way I should be able to get through almost any season. Well everybody, this is Jurgen the Badass Homesteader. Peace. So do a little walk around of our little emergency 3-person shelter. And last night was so chilly, this is actually a frost. So let's check this bad boy out. So we have 3 people in here. I would say it is about chest height on me. We utilized this log as one side and this tree for the backstop. We had 2 trash bags full of leaves, and that was the plug for the door once we crawled in. See this? So this rib is actually zip tied to this green tree sapling right here. So instead of worrying about actually lashing, because we were on a time deadline, that was an easier path. We also stuffed leaves in here, so that helped a little bit. The ground was a little bit cold. No real major holes. I mean, I'll turn the light off and see we got a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. But overall, it was actually very, very comfortable. So this is another emergency shelter. Looks like what we got is a ridge line between 3 trees And then it looked like they had some tarp material actually in their packs. It looks like they lined the bottom with mylar. That's actually really nice to reflect that heat back down. The sides, they put some debris and then some leaves. So that's pretty good. You gotta remember, it's very dark and we had a time crunch of about 45 minutes to do everything. And if you didn't have a good flashlight or headlamp, I mean, it would probably be pretty hard to find material to make shelter in pitch black. Let's check out the other one. Okay, so this is the other shelter, debris shelter, similar to ours. Looked like they used that down tree as a backstop, and then they utilized this tree to support an A-frame member that they wedged in there, and they also look like they set up a ridge line for, it looks like trash bags that assisted with that. And then they have branches and a whole bunch of leaves. They got some bags here full of leaves. That was probably the plug that stopped the door up. And then in here they got a nice emergency blanket to reflect the heat off the ground, so that was good. Looks like they could have used a little bit more bags maybe for the top, or more branches, because it looked like the leaves caved in a little bit. But overall, looks pretty good. Everyone did a great job, especially it got a little chilly at night.